Hi folks, it's day 61 today. Yeah, I had therapy earlier this afternoon and I've been thinking a lot about that for the last few hours. It was a tough session again. They all seem to be getting quite tough now. I think we're kind of nailing down what's going on in my mind a lot more. And I guess that makes sense because as a therapist, he's kind of essentially he's guided by me most of the time, so he needs to kind of feel me out, I suppose, and not feel me up. That would be wrong on a lot of levels. He's never touched me in that way. But yeah, as a therapist, he needs to kind of feel me out and figure out what my problems are and where they lie and what could be the root causes. And I think that takes time, and that's why it's so important to have a therapist that you can build that relationship with. And yeah, it does take time. And that makes sense as well, because, there's a lot going on inside all of us. And when you get to the point where even you don't understand what's going on in your head, how can you expect, like, a stranger pretty much to know? So it takes time for you both to work together to kind of uncover a lot of things. And that's what we've been doing, and we've been doing it for a long time now. And I think we finally kind of have got to the bare bones of a lot of my issues. And that came up a lot today, and it's given me a lot to think about, really. And it's stuff that I've spoken about before in my videos. So basically I have an underlying kind of almost inherent, like, feeling of self-hatred towards myself. It's like hardwired into me. And yeah, that's basically a lot of my problems stem from that. So yeah, I hate myself with, like, a passion. And I have no self-esteem whatsoever. I don't believe in myself. I don't see myself in a positive way. We spoke a lot about one of the exercises he wanted me to do last week, which I didn't do in the end. We've spoken about me doing these video diaries, and I mentioned that I've had several kind of nice supportive comments along the way that have made it feel good in some ways, and he asked me if I kind of, look at them often. And I don't. I kind of, if someone comments, I kind of look at it once. And if it's a positive comment, I kind of take it on board. It makes me feel uncomfortable. But that's not the fault of the person who's making the comment. That's me. Okay, so it makes me uncomfortable because I feel that it's not deserved, or people don't need to be nice to me, or I don't deserve people to be nice to me, or to take the time out of their day and out of their lives to watch a video that I've done and comment on it. It just feels like I'm... But the gist of it is, he wanted me to kind of go back over all my videos and read all the comments that I had along the way, and just read them and just kind of recognize them for what they were. And he wanted me to write them all out and bring them in today to kind of go over them with him. And I know where he's coming from. He wants me to kind of reinforce in my own mind that, what the reality is, rather than my own perspective of reality, because my perspective's broken, essentially. I don't have any belief in myself. I don't believe that I deserve support or love or affection or anything nice in my life. And, that shows all through my life. I never treat myself to anything. I never do anything for myself. I kind of just get by, really. I spend enough on myself to survive, and then I feel bad if I do spend money on myself, or I do kind of put myself first. It just feels alien to me. I just can't do it. And his exercise, I could tell that he wanted me to kind of see that other people's perspective of me and of reality is different to mine, and that mine's wrong, and to just reinforce it in my mind, I guess, to read the comments over and over and over again. But I came up with loads of bullshit excuses why I didn't do it. After last week's session, I just kept saying, I'll do it tomorrow, or, I've got time, I'll do it on the weekend, or, I'll do it just before we go in, so it's fresh in my mind. And I never, part of me was always not going to do it from the moment he suggested it. And, there's part of me that did say straight away, I'm not going to do that. But I'll tell myself I'll do it to make myself feel okay about it. And he called me on it today, which is fair enough. And I explained that, I didn't... Not that I necessarily don't believe what people say when they make comments. It's just the fact that it makes me uncomfortable, essentially. It makes me feel... I've spoken about this so many times. I feel I have a severe case of imposter syndrome. It's really, really bad. I feel like, someone's going to catch me out doing something wrong when I'm not really doing anything, But I've got this morbid fear of people kind of turning on me one day and just saying, we hate you for what, you fooled us into believing that, you deserve our support or whatever. And there's no basis for that. It's, I've mentioned before that you should be able to ask yourself, is this true? Is there support to back it up? And I believe that. I believe that we should be able to kind of take a step back and say, is that true? And weigh it up. Unfortunately, for me, I think, as I say, because this feeling of self-hatred and self-cruelty is so deeply embedded in me that even though I can vocalise and I can rationalise that, yeah, I do need to kind of weigh up situations and say, am I a bad person? Is there any evidence to back that up? Or, am I fooling all these people who are watching my videos or who are supporting me in my life? Is my wife just kind of playing along? Am I, I know it doesn't make any sense, but as I say, because it's so ingrained in me, I can't process it. I can't make it real. I can't convince myself that it's, it's lies that I'm telling myself and lies that I'm believing, even though the evidence is suggesting completely something different. So we got to the bottom of that today, and it's something I've always known. I've always had this feeling, this irrational hatred of myself. So yeah, that's what I've got to work on. I've got to find a way past that, and I don't know how. And I know I keep saying that it's all about repetition and habit and being positive, creating positive kind of thought patterns, and just repetition and making it a habit. And again, it's like I see the logic and I see the reality of that, but processing that when you're depressed and when you're constantly, abusing yourself and kicking yourself, putting yourself down and then kicking yourself over and over and over again, you don't even know where to start. I mean, I don't know how to be kind to myself. I don't know how to look after myself. If it wasn't for Fran, I honestly don't know where I'd be right now. I don't know if I'd be here at all. And that raises an interesting subject because there's a very clear definition in my life. You know, there's like an AF and a BF. So there's like a before Fran period of my life, and there's an after Fran period of my life. And the AF period, it's a dramatic improvement on my life, you know, in every respect. Like the BF period of my life, the before Fran period, I was just existing, you know, I was kind of just getting by, didn't care about myself. I worked because I had to, I paid my bills, didn't do a lot, you know, drank a lot, just to kind of shut up the voices in my head. My life was miserable, you know. I didn't have any aspirations, I didn't have any kind of motivations, you know, I was just sleepwalking through my life. And then Fran came along, and I still don't understand. You know, I can kind of, I can rationalise the fact that, you know, we met and we fell in love and there was an attraction there, and that she sees something in me, obviously, or she wouldn't have stuck around, we wouldn't have got married, and we wouldn't be, you know, looking at a future together. But yeah, I can't see it. I can't see what she sees. I can't see what she sees, essentially. But at the same time, just her presence in my life has made me want to see that, has made me want to feel that, you know, whereas before I just wasn't. I was coasting along, miserable, sad, lonely. You know, I was barely existing, you know, and so yeah, I can't see what she sees when she looks at me. I can't believe what she feels. But I have to believe that she feels it, because, you know, I'm not going to question what she feels, because, you know, that's a disservice to her. It'd be, you know, rude to kind of question something like that. But yeah, kind of, I don't see it and I don't feel it. I don't see what she sees. I don't see what anyone else sees that are in my life. I don't see this kind, generous person. I just see me, and the me that I see is a horrible person, and I don't like the person that I am. And I've spent most of my life kicking that person and being horrible to that person and making that person into a sad person, like lonely, frightened person. I mean, I've done that. I've done that to myself. And now it's just, how do you reverse a lifetime of negativity like that? How do you take back control from the part of you that's been in control for all of your life, that's constantly put you down to the point where you can't even comprehend not being a bad, horrible person. You can't even comprehend why people want to be in your life, people want to be around you, why people want to support you and love you. You don't believe it, and I don't believe it. I can't feel it fully. And I don't know what to do. It's like I feel like I feel like knowing what the problem isn't going to solve the problem. It just makes it worse in a way. It makes it frustrating because I know what's going on. I know what's wrong, but I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to change it. And I know that I keep banging on about changing your thought processes and developing positive thinking patterns, and I don't know if I can do it. just feel like I've hit a brick wall. I can't progress past it. I can't see through it. See, I don't know what to do anymore at the moment. But I will go back over the comments that I've had and read them and, you know, try and take them on board and feel them. But I don't know how to do that. I don't know, honestly. So yeah, I'm going to stop there. I feel like I'm banging on for ages now. It's given me a lot to think about today, which is good. I guess a therapy session should do that. But yeah, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Okay, bye.